Member for Maroochydore.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I am pleased to rise to speak to this bill. I want to give a great shout-out to some of our wonderful local businesses on the Sunshine Coast who are really innovative craft brewers. They are small business people who've seen opportunity, who took the risk, they put themselves forward with great products, and they are certainly fighters, as we know right throughout Queensland, because in the last 12 months, with COVID, there have been those extra challenges so many have faced, be it with markets that have been disrupted, with the fact that they weren't all able or set up in a way where they could continue to sell to market. It's been a challenging time, but they've been fighting back, and I believe that there is much that's positive in this bill, even though, as we've alluded, there's still opportunities to continue to, I think, improve the regulations around this industry so that we are able to better support our artisan liquor producers and our great food manufacturers. There's really an explosion of innovation and entrepreneurism in this area of food manufacturing, and it may not always go together in people's minds that food is manufacturing, but the reality is to get these products to market and to get them into people's hands in their homes, there is often a manufacturing process involved. And if we're to see this expand beyond just the local experience, the wonderful tourism experience of coming into our areas and sampling these magnificent products locally, but to then see it go further into other markets and ultimately into export is a terrific objective. But to be able to expand that network of opportunity, there has to be, I believe, a bigger vision and bigger strategy, and that's certainly what the industry is looking forward to. And I hand it to them because not only do we see great local businesses, but we see leadership within industry that's emerging and speaking up for what they want to see to take this industry further into the future. But a big shout-out, such as to the Sunshine Coast Brewery, to Greg Curran and family. When I first started talking with Greg a few years ago about his wonderful brewery, it was brought to my attention at that point that they had been hit with a potential nearly tenfold increase in their fire levy. And this was a fire levy that was about to be put upon the top of this magnificent emerging and dynamic industry, or it's an industry that's been around, but it was starting to shoot out of the blocks and take off after all those hard years of investment. And the state Labor government, without warning, put on them this terrible fire levy increases with new regulations that in fact meant there was up to nearly a tenfold increase in that fire levy. Fortunately, working together with industry, we were able to lobby the government, get them to back down on this and to change the way that regulations were being put upon industry and these bills that were landing in their mailboxes. However, one thing that it really did highlight is the importance of industry being listened to and consulted with, and I think that there is much in this legislation that does listen to industry, but there's also indication that there's opportunity to go further. And I support the comments of my colleague, the member for Glasshouse, who spoke before about some of the works that were being done with some of the independent grocers. There's a lot more opportunity for us to see these craft liquor, this manufactured the craft liquor industry, the artisan industry, able to join together with some of our other retail opportunities to sell those products with local food that's produced locally. So not about unleashing a multitude of de facto corner bottle shops in addition to what there are. This is about enabling opportunities for people to be able to get some of their artisan liquors as well as their local food produce from that area. I think there's a lot more opportunity for us to see this marriage of two great industries with a local focus to really expand that wonderful experience for people. So big shout out to the industry, and there are certainly others in my area, and Ten Toes Brewery also with a magnificent product, and there is a long list. And I know that while my boundaries may be more confined to the coastal side of the highway, there's a lot over in the hinterland as well. And wherever they are, they have really worked hard during this time to fight back during this time of COVID to rebuild and to look for the opportunities going forward. So this legislation, it provides an improvement, as I said, to the regulations, but perhaps there's a bit more opportunity to go forward so that we can see this industry continue to expand in a way that recognises the very specific needs that they have as manufacturers of a magnificent product, but one that does have also an onerous regulatory framework, and we can say that there is a need for regulation, but I think there needs to be more adaptation to ensure that it meets the needs of the emerging markets that we see. I want to just also touch on another organisation that's been at the forefront in supporting our food manufacturers and certainly our artisan liquor producers, and that is FAN, the Food and Agribusiness Network on the Sunshine Coast. As I said at the outset, food and manufacturing in one sentence might seem strange, but that is in fact how we're going to see more of these products launched, is for people to realise it's not only the agricultural side, it's marrying it with the manufacturing process to deliver these magnificent products locally and beyond our shores. And there is a need to see food manufacturing through the eyes of government and investment that has the support to see this industry really expand, not only for our craft brewers and other liquor producers, but for the magnificent foods that are being produced, certainly in the Sunshine Coast and greater area. And I'm calling on the state government to certainly support manufacturing hubs through something like the Food and Agribusiness Network on the Sunshine Coast, to listen to them. I do believe that there is goodwill and bipartisan support for this, because this cuts across many electorates, many of the LNP electorates, but also independent and Labor electorates through the Sunshine Coast, Moreton Bay and greater area. And we do need the support of this government for these food manufacturing hubs and the support that they need as they seek to expand those processes in a way where there may be common infrastructure that enables them to produce and deliver this product, to certainly package this product or develop with the laboratory support. And there's quite a detailed business plan that the FAN group has been working on with industry and with government. Great opportunity to take us beyond where we are today, because the future for Queensland isn't just being good at what we do today. In this case, with our wonderful artisan brewers and those manufactured foods that are coming through and delivered to market that are so different from some of the traditional products that have come through the larger retail sector. There's a great opportunity for us to take this clean and innovative and wonderful food product to the world, but it needs the support now. There's an opportunity now, particularly in this time as we challenge and come through this time of COVID impacts, to say, if we want to reach the world and support these businesses, doing business the same way and having the same regulatory framework and the heaviness of being able to negotiate through those different silos, that has to change. There has to be coordination, yes, across the three tiers, but here in Queensland, starting with that ability to support our food and agribusiness manufacturing hubs, and in this case specifically today with our artisan brewers. So cheers to the industry. They're doing an awesome job, but we want to see them do even better into the future. So all those small business people who've worked their heart and soul out to be not only producing but continue to make a bob, which they need to do to be here tomorrow. We need to see them prosper. That's why we've got to continue the process of regulatory reform that lifts the burden of unnecessary wait and time to help them do their job, to help them create the jobs and the prosperity in our local areas.